Hello guys, hope you're all okay today. Long time no see. I hope you all had a great 2018 and are having a good 2019. Today's video is going to be about gnolls, and fortunately it's not going to be me singing and painting gnolls with my top off. We're going to have a look at all different types of gnolls, but specifically Frostgrave, because that's the figure that's in the market at the minute. It's the most popular figure. Frostgrave is doing well. They've brought out character models that are in metal, and they've brought out the plastic range. I'm not going to go too much into the plastic range because I don't have any, but I have seen them unboxed and put together. And the one thing I will say between the plastic and the metals are the plastic are a lot better. I've got all of the character models, which these little things here, and good models, really well detailed, but very took a lot of work to get the mold line sorted out. Very sort of like fragile as well. Like for example, if you have this gentleman here and he's got his staff when he came was bent the wrong way, and you're moving it, just you don't want to snap it off, and then you're gonna have to pin it and things like that. But yeah, overall decent, well detailed, great sort of like characteristics on the faces and things like that. And I'll put some stills up at the end to show the models. Painting wise, for me, I've said this for a while to my friends and that. For me, less is more. I quite like the plastic bones models because they're not that great, but what it allows you to do is it allows you to use more shading and highlighting to emphasize the model rather than the details on the model. So I'm sort of a big advocate for the older things, such as the old Dwarven Citadel Chaos Dwarves. Less detail on them, but loads more characterful, and you could also do a lot more of your own painting work on them. So the main reason I'm doing this video is because there's such a diverse range of figures, gnolls wise, that you can be misled into buying them. So for example, when I bought these, I didn't have a benchmark as to what size they were because I didn't see the plastic gnolls until after I bought the metal ones, and I already had some gnolls. Like I had some of the plastic minis. These are the GW1 Wizards of the Coast, but you can get Piazza ones and things like that as well. So when they came, and you're getting a gnoll that size compared to a character model gnoll this size, it's sort of like thought, well, how am I going to be able to use these models? So one of the things when you're buying them is just be aware that they come in different sizes. So you might be thinking, well, they're pretty much useless then. How can you get around that? Well, the way I did it was, and I'll show you in some pictures of the party, my party that I run D&D for. I just did it in stages. So when they're in the example with my party, they went to a gnoll keep. So what I did was the Frostgrave Gnolls, I had them as sort of like the weaker character models, and I had them at the front of the fort. The big gnarly boss gnolls had sent them to the front of the keep as fodder basically. So I had a group of character models, and also the mage. He's more delicate, so he's going to be a smaller model. And it proved like a really good fight. There was a thief in there, a mage. And then as they progressed through the keep, through the grounds of the keep, they faced bigger and bigger gnolls. So it wasn't a problem. And I'll probably only use them once anyway. It was quite nice to just paint them up as character models, to be honest. But that's the way you can do it. But just be aware when you're buying them that Frostgrave gnolls are a lot smaller than a standard gnoll. So I'll show you, for example, like you say, there's a Wizards of the Coast mini, and he's a Bones model Gnoll. So pretty much similar size, and obviously Bones is like an offshoot of Ralpatha, or just a different thing with Ralpatha. There's another Ralpatha model. So if you put that up against a Bones Gnoll, put that up against a standard Wizards of the Coast Gnoll, and I think, is that, no, there's another Wizards Gnoll there, bigger model there, but still not too bad. So just be aware, like I said, if you are going to go down the Frostgrave line, me personally, if I could go back, I would just buy all Frostgrave, or all sort of like Bones, or all Ralpatha, that type of thing. Another thing is the use of the Wizards of the Coast Piazzo miniatures. Now, it tends to be hit and miss with these models, and what I'll do is I'll show you at the end of the video this model that was I'll show how this originally came, and then I'll show you this one I repainted it. And I didn't repaint the whole thing, I just touched it up. I give it a wash, I sorted the shield out, I did the bindings, just made them look like normal bindings, touched up the flail, the bones I touched up. Nothing major, literally a couple of coats and a wash, nothing at all, and it just totally changed the model, because the model looked horrific, and it just brought it in line with the rest of the models. Another thing you can do is to make sure when you're basing the figures, again, so if I show you on the bases there, I just based them all the same. I used the same flock. What I tend to do normally when I'm doing armies is I just put a standard base down, you know, stone, I'll PVA, put the stones down, let it dry, bit more PVA, put some grass down, bit of flock. But the main thing is I make sure that it's all the same flock, all the same stones, just for uniformity, for when you're putting an army on the board for 40k or Age of Sigmar, things like that. I think that's the most important thing. So you can do that with the Piazzo and the Wizards of the Coast minis. They come as standard with just black bases. So if you actually flock them and put them in line with the rest of your characters, they just stand up, they fit in more with the rest of them. So what I'll do now is I'll show you the models, a different range of models, and I'll stand them from height at the lowest going up, and I'll show you the difference between the types of Gnoll sizes, and just to be aware. And then at the end of the video I'll give you a few stills of the models. The last thing I want to say about these is painting them. As I say, I really like the Bones models because there's less detail on them, which some people won't like. But it just gives me more freedom to without sounding too artsy, to express myself. So I could just use whatever colours I wanted, highlight them up, and it took no time at all. Because another thing I'm trying to do as a personal thing is I'm trying to get my painting speed up. It really has been a sore point for me, and I don't tend to watch any painting videos or anything like that. I just do it all myself. I just try and learn from my own mistakes. So it was just something that I was doing. I think it's 4 character models here I painted up. I had 4 Frostgrave character models, and I painted them up in, I think it was about an afternoon. Normally I'd get one done in an afternoon. I'm really slow when it comes to character models. The Bones ones, of which there was 2 plastic and a Ralpatha Bones, and then there was a Ralpatha metal character and 2 Ralpatha sort of like guards. They took me pretty much 2 afternoons, but the 2 plastics took me about 2 hours, an hour for each. The named metallic Royal Partha took me about 2 hours in total, and that for me is really, really fast. But it was just a case of getting the base colours on, washing the whole model, dry brushing the fare again, and then just picking out the details and metallics. So you know, on this model here, he got a base coat of grey. All his metallics were done, all the browns were done. I washed the browns in sort of like an Agrax earth shade, and the metallics in Gnoll oil. Flesh, the fare I did in Gnoll oil as well, and then obviously brought the base colours back up again, like on the greens, just re-brought them back up. Same with the reds, and then just dry brushed the fare, picked out a bit of the metallics again, and then just added a few things like adding scab red onto the blades and onto the shields. I wanted the shield spikes to look like he was actually using them in combat, and little details like that, just to add a little bit more to the model. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm really looking forward to becoming part of the community again. I've missed you guys. I've been really, really busy. I've had lots of health situations which you who've followed me for a while know about. Ups and downs, hospital, all sorts. But hopefully, touch wood, back now, and I'm looking forward to integrating myself back into the community, guys. Catching up on some of your videos, and because I've missed a lot of them as well. I missed watching you guys, to be honest. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all having a great 2019, and I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye bye.